What if I told you that an ancient Greek device, discovered at the bottom of the sea over a century ago, holds secrets that still baffle scientists today? The Antikythera Mechanism, a complex clockwork instrument dating back to around 100 BCE, is often called the world's first analog computer. Yet, its intricate gears and precise astronomical calculations seem centuries ahead of its time. How did ancient civilizations with no access to modern tools or technology create something so advanced? And more importantly, what does this tell us about the ingenuity of our ancestors? This is just one of 36 remarkable technologies that defied the limitations of their time, reshaping our understanding of history and human capability. From ancient Egypt to the Indus Valley, societies across the globe achieved feats that continue to inspire and perplex us. How did they do it? What can we learn from their innovations today? In this video, we'll take you on a journey through time to explore these groundbreaking advancements, each one a testament to the creativity and resourcefulness of ancient minds. Get ready to uncover mysteries, challenge assumptions, and discover how the past continues to influence the future. Let's dive in. The story of the Antikythera Mechanism begins in the year 1901, when sponge divers exploring a shipwreck off the coast of the Greek island of Antikythera stumbled upon a corroded lump of bronze and wood. At first glance, it seemed unremarkable, just another artifact from the ancient world. But as researchers carefully cleaned and studied the object, they uncovered something extraordinary, a complex system of interlocking gears, finely crafted and arranged with astonishing precision. This wasn't just a relic, it was a machine, one that could track the movements of the sun, moon, and planets, predict eclipses, and even calculate the dates of ancient athletic games like the Olympics. What makes the Antikythera Mechanism so remarkable isn't just its complexity, but the fact that it existed at all. Dating back to around 100 BC, it predates similar devices by over 1,000 years. The knowledge required to create such a machine, understanding celestial mechanics, advanced mathematics, and intricate gear systems, was thought to be far beyond the capabilities of ancient civilizations. Yet here it was, a tangible reminder that our ancestors were far more sophisticated than we often give them credit for. Scholars believe the mechanism was likely built by a brilliant mind or group of minds in ancient Greece, possibly linked to the great centers of learning like Rhodes or Alexandria. Some even speculate that figures like Archimedes or Hipparchus might have had a hand in its design, though we may never know for sure. What we do know is that this device wasn't just a scientific tool, it was a testament to humanity's unending curiosity about the cosmos. The Antikythera Mechanism challenges our assumptions about the limits of ancient technology. It forces us to ask, what else might they have known? What other secrets lie hidden in the sands of time? As we marvel at this ancient marvel, let's turn our attention to another groundbreaking invention, one that emerged from the deserts of ancient Egypt and continues to captivate us to this day. The Pantheon in Rome stands as a marvel of engineering, its massive dome still intact after nearly 2,000 years. What's the secret behind its longevity? The answer lies in a material so advanced that modern scientists are still trying to fully understand it: Roman concrete. Unlike the concrete we use today, which often cracks and deteriorates within decades, Roman concrete has withstood the test of time, surviving earthquakes, weather, and even the fall of empires. The key to its durability: volcanic ash. The Romans mixed this natural ingredient with lime and small rocks to create a material that not only hardened over time but actually grew stronger. This process, known as pozzolanic reaction, allowed the concrete to resist erosion and even heal small cracks on its own. Structures like the Pantheon, the Colosseum, and ancient aqueducts owe their endurance to this remarkable formula. But here's the mystery: despite its effectiveness, the recipe for Roman concrete was lost for centuries. As the Roman Empire declined, so did the knowledge of how to produce this extraordinary material. Modern concrete, while cheaper and easier to make, lacks the same resilience. Scientists today are working tirelessly to reverse engineer Roman concrete, hoping to unlock its secrets and apply them to contemporary construction. Imagine the possibilities: bridges, buildings, and infrastructure that could last for millennia. Why did this technology disappear? Some historians point to the collapse of centralized Roman authority, which disrupted the flow of knowledge and resources. Others suggest that the shift to simpler, faster construction methods prioritized convenience over longevity. Whatever the reason, the loss of Roman concrete serves as a reminder of how easily advanced knowledge can vanish. As we marvel at the ingenuity of Roman builders, let's turn our attention to another ancient innovation that transformed the way societies constructed their world, one that emerged from the sands of Mesopotamia and laid the foundation for modern engineering. Rising from the sands of Egypt, the Great Pyramid of Giza stands as one of the most awe-inspiring achievements in human history. Built over 4,500 years ago, this monumental structure has captivated the world with its sheer scale and precision. But what truly sets it apart isn't just its size, it's the astonishing accuracy with which it was constructed. Each of the pyramid's 2,300,000 stone blocks, some weighing as much as 80 tons, was cut and placed with near-perfect alignment. The entire structure is oriented to the cardinal points north, south, east, and west, with an error margin of less than 1/15 of a degree. How did ancient builders achieve such precision without the aid of modern tools like lasers or GPS? One theory points to the Egyptians' deep understanding of astronomy. By observing the stars, particularly the circumpolar constellations, they could align the pyramid to true north with remarkable accuracy. Some researchers believe they used a tool called a merkit, a simple yet effective device that functioned like an ancient theodolite. Others suggest that water-filled trenches or shadow-casting rods played a role in ensuring the pyramid's alignment. Whatever the method, the result is a testament to their ingenuity and meticulous planning. But the mysteries don't end there. The pyramid's internal chambers, such as the King's Chamber and the Grand Gallery, have puzzled archaeologists for centuries. Why were these spaces built with such intricate precision? The King's Chamber, for instance, is constructed entirely of granite, a material so hard that modern diamond-tipped tools struggle to cut it. Yet, the ancient Egyptians managed to create perfectly flat surfaces and precise angles, all while working deep within the pyramid's core. Some theories propose that these chambers served as astronomical observatories or even energy conduits, though these ideas remain speculative. What's undeniable is that the Great Pyramid reflects a level of engineering skill that seems almost otherworldly. Its builders not only mastered the art of quarrying, transporting, and assembling massive stone blocks, but also encoded advanced mathematical and astronomical knowledge into its design. The pyramid's base-to-height ratio corresponds to the mathematical constant pi, and its dimensions align with the Earth's measurements in a way that some scholars believe was intentional. As we stand in awe of the Great Pyramid's precision and scale, it's worth noting that the ancient Egyptians weren't alone in their architectural brilliance. Across the globe, another civilization was mastering the art of monumental construction, one that thrived in the jungles of Mesoamerica and left behind structures that continue to baffle modern engineers. High above the arid plains of southern Peru, the Nazca Desert reveals a secret that can only be seen from the sky. Stretching across nearly 500 square kilometers, the Nazca lines are a series of enormous geoglyphs etched into the earth, depicting animals, plants, geometric shapes, and even human-like figures. Some of these designs stretch over 300 meters in length, their lines so precise and intricate that they seem almost impossible to have been created by human hands, especially over 2,000 years ago. But how did the Nazca people, living in a time long before airplanes or drones, manage to craft such massive and detailed artworks? Theories about the purpose of the Nazca lines are as varied as the designs themselves. Some researchers believe they served as an astronomical calendar, aligning with celestial events like solstices and equinoxes. Others argue they were part of religious rituals, perhaps pathways for ceremonial processions or offerings to the gods. There's even speculation that the lines were a form of communication with extraterrestrial beings, though this idea remains firmly in the realm of speculation. What's certain is that the Nazca lines were not created haphazardly. They required careful planning, advanced knowledge of geometry, and a deep understanding of the landscape. Creating these geoglyphs was no small feat. The Nazca people had to remove the dark, iron-rich top layer of the desert floor to reveal the lighter sand beneath, a process that required meticulous precision. Without the ability to view their work from above, they likely relied on scaled-down models and a system of ropes and stakes to maintain proportions. Some scholars suggest they used simple tools like wooden pegs and cords to measure distances and angles, while others propose that they may have built small observation mounds to check their progress. Regardless of the methods, the result is a testament to their ingenuity and patience. The Nazca lines also raise a fascinating question. Why create something so vast and intricate if it could only be fully appreciated from the air? Some believe that the lines were meant to be seen by the gods, who would have viewed them from the heavens. Others think they were part of a larger cultural narrative, a way for the Nazca people to leave their mark on the world for future generations. Whatever their purpose, these geoglyphs continue to captivate us, offering a glimpse into a civilization that valued artistry and precision on an extraordinary scale. As we marvel at the Nazca lines, it's worth considering how other ancient cultures expressed their creativity and technological prowess. From the deserts of Peru to the jungles of Central America, humanity's drive to create, innovate, and communicate has left an indelible mark on our world. And speaking of Central America, let's turn our attention to another ancient marvel, one that combines art, architecture, and astronomy in ways that continue to amaze us today. Nestled among the artifacts of ancient Mesopotamia lies a small, unassuming clay jar that has sparked one of the most intriguing debates in archaeology. Known as the Baghdad Battery, this relic consists of a terracotta pot, a copper cylinder, and an iron rod, all carefully assembled in a way that eerily resembles a modern electrical cell. Discovered in the 1930s near what is now modern-day Iraq, this curious object dates back to the Parthian or Sassanid periods, roughly between 200 BC and 200 CE. But what exactly was its purpose? Was it an ancient source of electricity, or does it hint at something entirely different? The most captivating theory suggests that the Baghdad Battery might have been used to generate a small electric current. When filled with an acidic liquid like vinegar or lemon juice, the jar could produce a low-voltage charge, potentially enough to electroplate objects, a process of coating one metal with another using electricity. Some experiments have shown that replicas of the Baghdad Battery can indeed produce a small electrical charge, lending credibility to this idea. If true, it would mean that ancient Mesopotamians had stumbled upon the principles of electricity over 1,000 years before it was formally understood in the modern era. But not everyone is convinced. Skeptics argue that the jar's design doesn't clearly indicate an electrical purpose. Could it have been used for something else entirely? Some propose that it might have been a storage vessel for sacred scrolls, with the copper and iron components serving as protective linings. Others suggest it could have been part of a religious ritual, perhaps used to create a mild electric shock as a form of divine experience or healing. Without written records or additional artifacts to provide context, the true purpose of the Baghdad Battery remains shrouded in mystery. What's undeniable, however, is that the Baghdad Battery forces us to reconsider the technological capabilities of ancient civilizations. Even if it wasn't a battery in the modern sense, its design reveals a level of ingenuity and experimentation that challenges our assumptions about the past. Could this be evidence of a lost technological tradition, one that hinted at discoveries we wouldn't fully grasp until much later? As we ponder the enigma of the Baghdad Battery, let's shift our focus to another ancient device that continues to baffle researchers, a creation that blends art, mechanics, and mystery in ways that still captivate us today. In the early 20th century, archaeologists excavating the ancient Minoan palace of Phaistos on the island of Crete uncovered an artifact that would become one of the most enduring mysteries of the ancient world, the Phaistos disc. This small, circular clay object, roughly 15 centimeters in diameter, is covered on both sides with a spiral of stamped symbols, 45 distinct signs in total, arranged in groups that seem to form words or phrases. But what do these symbols mean, and why has no similar artifact ever been found? The Phaistos disc is unique, not just in its design but in its very existence. Unlike other ancient texts which often have parallels or precursors, this disc stands alone. Its symbols, which include images of humans, animals, plants, and abstract shapes, don't match any known writing system from the time. Some scholars believe it could be an early form of writing, perhaps a religious text or a hymn. Others think it might be a game, a calendar, or even a form of ancient propaganda. The truth is, we simply don't know. Deciphering the disc has proven to be a monumental challenge. Without a Rosetta Stone, a key to translating its symbols, researchers have struggled to make sense of its message. Some have attempted to link the symbols to Linear A or Linear B, the writing systems used by the Minoans and Mycenaeans, but no clear connections have been found. Others have proposed that the disc represents a completely unique language, one that may have been lost to time. What makes the Phaistos disc so fascinating is not just its mystery, but what it reveals about the complexity of ancient societies. The precision of its stamped symbols suggests a level of technological sophistication that we don't often associate with the Bronze Age. It also raises questions about how knowledge was recorded and shared. Was this disc a one-of-a-kind creation, or are there others waiting to be discovered? And if so, what might they tell us about the people who made them? As we continue to ponder the secrets of the Phaistos disc, it's worth considering how other ancient artifacts have challenged our understanding of history. One such object, unearthed in the heart of South America, offers a glimpse into a civilization that mastered the art of metalworking in ways that still astound us today. In the heart of Delhi, India, stands a marvel of ancient engineering that has defied time and nature for over 1,600 years, the Iron Pillar of Delhi. Unlike most iron structures which succumb to rust within decades, this towering column remains remarkably intact, its surface smooth and resistant to corrosion. How did ancient metalworkers achieve such a feat, and what secrets lie within its composition? The pillar, standing at over 7 meters tall and weighing more than 6 tons, is made of wrought iron with an unusually high phosphorus content. This unique composition is believed to be the key to its rust-resistant properties. Unlike modern iron, which is typically alloyed with carbon, the pillar's high phosphorus content creates a thin protective layer of iron hydrogen phosphate on its surface, shielding it from the elements. This discovery has left modern metallurgists in awe, as it suggests a level of scientific understanding that seems almost impossible for its time. But the iron pillar isn't just a testament to advanced metallurgy, it's also a window into ancient culture and craftsmanship. Inscriptions on the pillar, written in Sanskrit, reveal that it was originally erected as a tribute to the Hindu god Vishnu by King Chandragupta II, a ruler of the Gupta Empire. The pillar's ability to withstand the test of time has led some to view it as a symbol of divine protection, while others see it as a reflection of the Gupta Empire's technological prowess. Theories about the pillar's purpose vary. Some suggest it was part of a larger astronomical observatory, while others believe it served as a victory monument or a marker of imperial authority. Whatever its original function, the Iron Pillar of Delhi continues to inspire admiration and curiosity. Its rust-resistant properties have even influenced modern research, with scientists studying its composition to develop more durable materials for today's infrastructure. As we marvel at the Iron Pillar's resilience, it's worth noting that ancient metallurgical achievements weren't limited to India. Across the globe, another civilization was mastering the art of metalworking in ways that still leave us in awe. Let's turn our attention to a creation that showcases the ingenuity of the ancient Andean people, a marvel that combines artistry, precision, and a deep understanding of materials. High in the vaults of Yale University's Voynich Rare Book and Manuscript Library lies a book that has baffled scholars, cryptographers, and historians for centuries. Known as the Voynich Manuscript, this enigmatic text is a medieval mystery unlike any other. Its pages are filled with flowing, handwritten text in an unknown script, accompanied by bizarre illustrations of plants, celestial charts, and nude figures bathing in strange green pools. Since its discovery in the early 20th century, the manuscript has defied all attempts at translation, earning it the title of the most mysterious book in the world. But what is it, and why has it remained indecipherable for so long? The Voynich manuscript is believed to have been created in the early 15th century, based on carbon dating of its vellum pages. Its authorship is unknown, though some speculate it may have been the work of an alchemist, a herbalist, or even a medieval forger. The text, written in an alphabet that doesn't match any known language, is organized into sections that appear to correspond to the illustrations: botanical, astronomical, pharmaceutical, and cosmological. Yet, despite its structured appearance, no one has been able to crack its code. Cryptographers and linguists have spent decades trying to decode the manuscript, employing everything from frequency analysis to artificial intelligence. Some believe the text is written in a cipher, a coded form of a known language like Latin or Hebrew. Others argue it might represent a constructed language or even a lost tongue from a forgotten civilization. Then there are those who think it's an elaborate hoax, a cleverly crafted gibberish designed to deceive. The truth, however, remains elusive. One of the most intriguing aspects of the Voynich manuscript is its illustrations. The plants depicted don't correspond to any known species, leading some to suggest they might be fantastical or symbolic. The astronomical diagrams include strange circular charts that some believe represent celestial phenomena, while the bathing figures have sparked theories about alchemical rituals or medicinal practices. Each page seems to offer a tantalizing clue, only to deepen the mystery further. The question that haunts researchers is whether the Voynich manuscript will ever be decoded. Advances in technology, such as machine learning and high-resolution imaging, have renewed hope, but the manuscript continues to resist interpretation. Will we one day uncover its secrets, or will it remain an unsolvable puzzle, a testament to the enduring allure of the unknown? As we contemplate the mysteries of the Voynich manuscript, let's turn our attention to another ancient text that has captivated scholars for generations, one that offers its own set of riddles and revelations. Buried beneath the earth for over 2,000 years, an army of clay soldiers stands in silent vigil, guarding the tomb of China's first emperor. The Terracotta Army, discovered in 1974 by farmers digging a well near Xi'an, is one of the most astonishing archaeological finds of the modern era. Thousands of life-sized warriors, each with unique facial features, hairstyles, and armor, were meticulously crafted to accompany Emperor Qin Shi Huang into the afterlife. But what makes this army so remarkable isn't just its scale, it's the incredible blend of mass production and artistic individuality that brought these figures to life. The sheer number of soldiers is staggering. Over 8,000 have been uncovered so far, with estimates suggesting there could be many more still buried. Each warrior was crafted using a combination of standardized molds and hand-sculpted details, a process that allowed for both efficiency and personalization. Think of it like an ancient assembly line. The bodies were mass-produced using molds, while the heads and facial features were individually shaped to ensure no two soldiers looked exactly alike. This approach reveals a level of organization and craftsmanship that challenges our assumptions about ancient manufacturing. But how did they achieve such precision? Archaeologists believe the artisans worked in specialized workshops, each responsible for a specific part of the process. Some focused on creating the molds, others on sculpting the heads, and still others on painting the finished figures. The result is an army that feels both uniform and deeply personal, a testament to the skill and dedication of its creators. The attention to detail extends to the soldiers' armor and weapons, which were also crafted with remarkable accuracy. Even the horses, chariots, and archers were designed with a level of realism that still impresses today. The Terracotta Army wasn't just a feat of engineering, it was a reflection of Emperor Qin Shi Huang's ambitions and beliefs. As the unifier of China, he sought to project his power and authority even in death. The army was meant to protect him in the afterlife, a symbolic gesture that underscored his status as a ruler who transcended mortal limits. But it also speaks to the cultural values of the time, where the afterlife was seen as a continuation of earthly life, and where preparation for eternity was taken very seriously. Today, the Terracotta Army offers us a glimpse into the ingenuity and artistry of ancient China. It reminds us that even in a time before machines and modern technology, humans were capable of extraordinary achievements. As we marvel at these clay warriors, let's turn our attention to another ancient innovation, one that showcases the intersection of art, craftsmanship, and engineering in a completely different part of the world. Among the 7 wonders of the ancient world, one stands out not just for its beauty but for the enduring mystery that surrounds it, the Hanging Gardens of Babylon. Described by ancient writers as a lush, towering paradise of terraced greenery rising above the desert, the gardens were said to have been built by King Nebuchadnezzar II in the 6th century BCE as a gift to his queen Amytis. But here's the twist: despite their fame, no physical evidence of the gardens has ever been found. Did they truly exist, or are they a work of ancient imagination? The descriptions left behind by historians like Strabo and Diodorus Siculus paint a vivid picture. They tell of an elaborate structure with tiered platforms supported by massive stone columns, irrigated by an ingenious system of pumps and aqueducts that drew water from the nearby Euphrates River. The gardens were said to be a marvel of engineering, a feat that defied the arid landscape of Mesopotamia. Yet, no Babylonian text or archaeological remains have been discovered to confirm their existence. This has led some scholars to question whether the gardens were real or simply a romanticized tale passed down through generations. One theory suggests that the Hanging Gardens might not have been in Babylon at all. Some researchers propose they were located in the Assyrian city of Nineveh, built by King Sennacherib a century earlier. Ancient texts from Nineveh describe a similar garden complex, complete with advanced irrigation systems, and archaeological evidence has been found to support this claim. Could it be that the gardens were misattributed to Babylon over time? The debate continues, adding another layer of intrigue to this ancient enigma. What's undeniable, however, is the cultural impact of the Hanging Gardens. They've inspired countless works of art, literature, and architecture, symbolizing humanity's ability to transform the natural world into something extraordinary. Even if their existence remains unproven, the idea of such a structure challenges our understanding of ancient engineering and creativity. How did they envision such a project? What technologies did they use to bring it to life? And why did such a magnificent creation vanish without a trace? As we ponder the mystery of the Hanging Gardens, it's worth turning our attention to another ancient wonder, one that has left behind tangible evidence of its grandeur and continues to awe visitors to this day. From the deserts of Mesopotamia, let's journey to the shores of the Mediterranean, where a towering lighthouse once guided sailors through treacherous waters. Standing deep within the jungles of Central America, the ancient Maya civilization left behind a legacy of knowledge that continues to astound us. At the heart of their achievements lies one of the most sophisticated timekeeping systems ever created, the Maya calendar. Unlike the single calendar we use today, the Maya developed multiple interlocking cycles to track time, each one meticulously calculated to align with celestial events and natural phenomena. How did they achieve such precision, and what does it reveal about their understanding of the universe? The Maya calendar system was not just a tool for marking days, it was a complex web of cycles that intertwined to create a broader understanding of time. One of its key components, the Tzolk'in, was a 260-day cycle used for religious and ceremonial purposes. This was paired with the Hab, a 365-day solar calendar that tracked the agricultural year. Together, these two cycles formed the calendar round, a 52-year period that the Maya believed marked significant turning points in both human and cosmic events. But perhaps the most remarkable aspect of their system was the long count calendar, a linear count of days that began in August 3114 BCE, a date the Maya considered the start of their current era. What sets the Maya calendar apart is its astonishing accuracy. By observing the movements of the sun, moon, and planets, Maya astronomers were able to predict celestial events like eclipses with remarkable precision. They even calculated the length of a solar year to within minutes of the modern value, a feat that required not only keen observation but also advanced mathematical skills. Their ability to integrate these astronomical calculations into their calendar system speaks to a deep understanding of the cosmos, one that went far beyond mere practicality. For the Maya, time was more than a measure of days and years. It was a sacred force, woven into the fabric of their culture and spirituality. The calendar guided everything from planting and harvesting to religious ceremonies and royal coronations. It was believed that certain days held specific energies, and by aligning their actions with these cosmic rhythms, the Maya sought to maintain harmony between the earthly and the divine. This spiritual dimension adds another layer of complexity to their system, revealing a worldview where time was both a scientific and sacred concept. Modern interpretations of the Maya calendar have often focused on its supposed end date of December 21, 2012, which some believed predicted the end of the world. However, scholars clarify that this date simply marked the end of a long count cycle and the beginning of a new one, a moment of renewal rather than destruction. This misinterpretation highlights how the Maya calendar continues to captivate our imagination, even as we strive to understand its true significance. The Maya calendar stands as a testament to the ingenuity and intellectual prowess of an ancient civilization that looked to the stars for guidance. It challenges us to reconsider the boundaries of human knowledge and the ways in which different cultures have sought to make sense of time itself. As we marvel at their achievements, let's turn our attention to another ancient civilization whose contributions to science and technology have left an indelible mark on history, one that flourished along the banks of the Nile and forever changed the way we understand mathematics and engineering. Deep in the lush rainforests of Costa Rica, scattered across the Diquis Delta, lie hundreds of stone spheres that have puzzled archaeologists for decades. These nearly perfect orbs, carved from solid volcanic rock, range in size from just a few centimeters to over 2 meters in diameter, with some weighing as much as 16 tons. Their surfaces are so smooth and their shapes so precise that they seem almost too perfect to have been crafted by human hands, especially by a civilization that existed over 1,000 years ago. But how were these spheres made, and what purpose did they serve? The stone spheres are believed to have been created by the Diquis culture, a pre-Columbian society that thrived in the region between 400 and 1500 CE. Using only primitive tools like stone hammers and wooden pegs, the Diquis people somehow managed to carve these spheres with astonishing accuracy. Researchers have found that many of the spheres deviate from a perfect roundness by less than 2 centimeters, a level of precision that would be challenging even with modern machinery. This raises the question, what techniques did they use to achieve such perfection? One theory suggests that the Diquis craftsmen may have relied on a combination of heat and cold to shape the stone. By heating the rock and then rapidly cooling it, they could chip away at the surface more easily. Others propose that they used a system of ropes and logs to roll the spheres, gradually smoothing them over time. Whatever the method, the result is a testament to their skill and ingenuity. But why did they create these spheres? Theories abound, ranging from the practical to the symbolic. Some researchers believe the spheres were used as astronomical markers, aligning with celestial events or serving as a form of ancient calendar. Others think they may have been symbols of power or status, placed near important buildings or burial sites to signify the authority of local leaders. There's even speculation that the spheres had a spiritual or ceremonial purpose, perhaps representing celestial bodies or serving as conduits for divine energy. The stone spheres also raise intriguing questions about the Diquis culture's worldview. Did they see the world as a series of interconnected spheres, reflecting their understanding of the cosmos? Or were these creations meant to convey something deeper about their relationship with the natural world? Without written records, we can only speculate, but the spheres remain a powerful reminder of the creativity and resourcefulness of ancient societies. As we marvel at the stone spheres of Costa Rica, let's shift our focus to another ancient culture that left behind equally enigmatic artifacts. One that thrived in the rugged landscapes of South America and created objects that continue to defy explanation. Rising over 350 feet above the bustling port of Alexandria, the Lighthouse of Alexandria was more than just a guiding light for ships. It was a towering symbol of human ingenuity. Built during the reign of Ptolemy II in the 3rd century BCE, this colossal structure stood as one of the tallest man-made buildings of the ancient world, rivaling even the Great Pyramid of Giza in its grandeur. For over 1,000 years, it served as a beacon of hope and a testament to the engineering prowess of the ancient world. But what made this lighthouse so extraordinary, and how did it endure for so long in such a demanding environment? The construction of the lighthouse was a marvel in itself. Designed by the Greek architect Sostratus of Cnidus, it was built on the small island of Pharos, connected to the mainland by a causeway. The structure was divided into 3 distinct sections: a square base, an octagonal middle, and a cylindrical top, each narrowing as it ascended. At its summit, a massive mirror, possibly made of polished bronze, reflected sunlight during the day, while a fire burned through the night to guide ships safely into the harbor. The light was said to be visible from up to 35 miles away, a feat that required not only advanced optics but also precise alignment and structural stability. What truly set the Lighthouse of Alexandria apart was its innovative design. The interior housed a spiral ramp that allowed donkeys to carry fuel to the top, ensuring the fire never went out. Its foundation was reinforced with molten lead to withstand the relentless waves of the Mediterranean, a technique that showcased the builders' understanding of both materials and environmental challenges. The lighthouse was more than a functional structure. It was a masterpiece of engineering blending practicality with artistry. For centuries, the lighthouse stood as a symbol of Alexandria's wealth and power, a city that prided itself on being a hub of knowledge and culture. It became one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world, drawing travelers and scholars from across the globe. Yet, like many great structures of antiquity, it eventually succumbed to time and disaster. A series of earthquakes between the 10th and 14th centuries gradually reduced the lighthouse to ruins, and by the 15th century it had disappeared entirely, its stones repurposed to build fortresses and mosques. The legacy of the Lighthouse of Alexandria, however, endures. It wasn't just a beacon for ships, it was a beacon of human ambition, a reminder of what we can achieve when we combine creativity, knowledge, and determination. Its influence can still be seen in modern lighthouses and skyscrapers, structures that push the boundaries of engineering just as the lighthouse once did. As we reflect on this ancient wonder, let's turn our attention to another structure that defied the limits of its time, a marvel of engineering that continues to inspire awe and admiration centuries after its construction. From the shores of the Mediterranean, our journey takes us to the rugged highlands of Peru, where an ancient civilization mastered the art of building on a scale that still astounds us today. Scattered across the humid lowlands of what is now southern Mexico, the Olmec colossal heads stand as silent sentinels of a civilization that thrived over 3,000 years ago. Carved from massive basalt boulders, these monumental sculptures depict human faces with striking detail, flattened noses, full lips, and distinctive headdresses, each one a unique portrayal of an individual, possibly a ruler or a revered deity. Ranging in height from 1.5 to over 3 meters and weighing as much as 40 tons, these heads are not just artistic masterpieces, but also feats of engineering that challenge our understanding of ancient capabilities. The creation of these sculptures was no small undertaking. The Olmecs sourced the basalt from quarries located in the Tuxtla Mountains, dozens of kilometers from their ceremonial centers. Transporting these enormous stones across rugged terrain without the aid of wheels or pack animals remains one of the greatest mysteries surrounding the heads. Some theories suggest they used log rollers and rafts to move the boulders along rivers, while others propose they relied on a combination of ropes, levers, and sheer manpower. Regardless of the method, the effort required to bring these stones to their final locations speaks volumes about the Olmec's determination and ingenuity. Once the boulders reached their destination, the real artistry began. Using stone tools, likely made from harder materials like jade or obsidian, the Olmec craftsmen meticulously carved each head with astonishing precision. The facial features are so lifelike that they seem to capture the personalities of the individuals they represent. The headdresses, adorned with intricate patterns, suggest these figures held significant social or religious status, possibly serving as symbols of power or divine connection. But why did the Olmecs invest so much time and effort into creating these colossal heads? Some scholars believe they were meant to honor deceased rulers, serving as eternal monuments to their legacy. Others argue they represented living leaders, immortalizing their authority in stone. There's even speculation that the heads were tied to Olmec cosmology, perhaps embodying deities or ancestors who watched over the community. Whatever their purpose, the heads offer a glimpse into a society that valued both artistry and symbolism, blending practicality with profound cultural meaning. The Olmec colossal heads also raise broader questions about the exchange of ideas in the ancient world. Often referred to as the mother culture of Mesoamerica, the Olmecs influenced later civilizations like the Maya and Aztecs, leaving behind a legacy that extended far beyond their own time. Their ability to create such monumental works of art without modern tools reminds us of the boundless creativity and resourcefulness of ancient peoples. As we marvel at the Olmecs' achievements, it's worth considering how other civilizations expressed their creativity and leadership in equally striking ways. From the stone heads of Mexico to the intricate carvings of another ancient culture, the human drive to leave a lasting mark on the world is a theme that transcends time and geography. Let's explore how another society used art and architecture to communicate their power and beliefs in ways that continue to captivate us today. High above the waves of the Mediterranean, Byzantine warships once wielded a weapon so fearsome that it struck terror into the hearts of their enemies. Known as Greek fire, this mysterious substance was a game-changer in naval warfare, a blazing inferno that could engulf enemy ships in seconds. Described as a liquid flame that clung to everything it touched, Greek fire was nearly impossible to extinguish. Even water seemed to fuel its fury. But what exactly was this ancient superweapon, and how did it work? The origins of Greek fire trace back to the 7th century CE, during the reign of the Byzantine Emperor Constantine IV. Facing relentless attacks by Arab fleets, the Byzantines turned to a secret weapon that would turn the tide of battle in their favor. Greek fire was delivered through a device known as a siphon, a kind of ancient flamethrower that could project the fiery liquid onto enemy ships with devastating precision. The exact formula for Greek fire remains one of history's greatest mysteries, as its creators guarded the secret so closely that it was eventually lost to time. What we do know is that Greek fire was a complex mixture, likely containing ingredients like petroleum, quicklime, and possibly even sulfur or saltpeter. Some theories suggest it may have included substances that ignited upon contact with water, explaining why it burned so fiercely even on the open sea. The Byzantines' ability to control and deploy this weapon with such effectiveness speaks to their advanced understanding of chemistry and engineering. The impact of Greek fire on military history cannot be overstated. It played a crucial role in defending Constantinople during multiple sieges, including the Arab sieges of the 7th and 8th centuries. Its psychological effect was just as powerful as its physical destruction. Enemy sailors often fled at the mere sight of the fiery jets, knowing there was no escape from its deadly embrace. The weapon became so iconic that it was used for centuries, solidifying the Byzantine Empire's dominance over the Mediterranean. Yet, the secrecy surrounding Greek fire also raises intriguing questions. Why was the formula never written down, and why did it disappear from history? Some believe it was a closely guarded state secret passed down only to a select few. Others speculate that the knowledge was lost during periods of political upheaval or invasion. Whatever the reason, Greek fire remains a tantalizing enigma, a reminder of how ancient innovations could shape the course of history and then vanish without a trace. As we reflect on the awe-inspiring power of Greek fire, it's worth considering how other ancient civilizations harnessed the elements to gain an edge in warfare. From the fiery seas of the Mediterranean to the battlefields of another ancient empire, our next stop takes us to a culture that turned the art of war into a science. On a remote island in the vast expanse of the Pacific Ocean, stone giants stand in silent vigil, their gaze fixed across the horizon. These are the Moai of Easter Island, towering statues carved by the Rapa Nui people between the 13th and 16th centuries. Each figure, some reaching heights of over 30 feet and weighing as much as 80 tons, is a testament to human creativity and determination. But how did a small, isolated community achieve such a monumental feat? and what drove them to carve and transport these colossal figures across the island. The Moai are more than just impressive sculptures. They are deeply intertwined with the spiritual and cultural identity of the Rapa Nui. Most of the statues are believed to represent deified ancestors, serving as a bridge between the living and the spiritual world. Positioned on ceremonial platforms called ahu, the Moai faced inland, watching over the villages and fields to bring protection and prosperity. Their creation was an act of devotion, a way to honor the past while ensuring the well-being of future generations. Carving the Moai was a labor-intensive process that began in the quarry of Rano Raraku, a volcanic crater rich in soft volcanic tuff. Using stone tools, skilled artisans meticulously shaped each statue, often carving them directly into the rock face before detaching them. The level of detail is astonishing, from the intricate facial features to the elongated ears and hands resting on their bellies. But the real challenge came after the carving was complete, moving these massive figures across the island. Theories about how the Rapa Nui transported the Moai have sparked debate for decades. Some suggest they used a system of ropes and wooden sledges, pulling the statues upright and walking them to their destinations. Others propose they laid the statues on wooden rollers or log frames, dragging them across the terrain. Recent experiments have shown that both methods are plausible, but each would have required immense coordination, resources, and community effort. The sheer scale of this undertaking speaks to the Rapa Nui's ingenuity and organizational skills. Yet, the story of the Moai is not without its mysteries. Why did the Rapa Nui stop carving them? Some scholars point to environmental factors such as deforestation and soil depletion, which may have led to societal collapse. Others suggest internal conflict or shifts in religious practices played a role. Whatever the reason, the Moai stand today as enduring symbols of a culture that reached incredible heights before fading into history. These stone giants remind us of humanity's ability to create wonders, even in the most isolated corners of the world. They challenge us to consider the balance between ambition and sustainability, and the ways in which ancient societies sought to leave their mark on the world. As we reflect on the Moai's silent legacy, let's turn our attention to another ancient culture that harnessed the power of stone, not to carve statues, but to build an entire city that defied the limits of its environment. Carved into the arid landscapes of India, the ancient Stepwells stand as breathtaking feats of engineering and artistry. These subterranean structures, known as baolis or valves, were far more than simple water sources. They were masterpieces of design, blending functionality with stunning aesthetics. Imagine descending a series of intricately carved steps, each level revealing ornate pillars, delicate arches, and detailed sculptures, all leading to a cool, tranquil reservoir at the bottom. These stepwells were not just practical solutions to water scarcity. They were social hubs, spiritual retreats, and enduring symbols of human ingenuity. The stepwell's primary purpose was to collect and store rainwater, a vital resource in India's dry regions. During the monsoon season, rainwater would flow into the well, filling it to capacity. The stepwell's design ensured that even as water levels dropped during the dry months, access to the remaining water remained possible. The steps allowed people to reach the water at any depth, while the surrounding architecture provided shade and shelter from the scorching sun. This combination of practicality and beauty made the stepwells indispensable to the communities that relied on them. What makes these structures truly remarkable is the advanced engineering knowledge behind their construction. Building a stepwell required an intimate understanding of hydrology, geology, and architecture. The builders had to account for factors like water pressure, soil stability, and evaporation rates, ensuring the well could withstand the test of time. Some of the most famous stepwells, like Rajasthan's Chand Baori or Gujarat's Rani Kai Vav, feature hundreds of steps arranged in precise geometric patterns, descending as deep as 10 stories below ground. The precision of their construction is a testament to the skill and foresight of ancient Indian engineers. But the Stepwells were more than just engineering marvels, they were also cultural landmarks. Many were adorned with intricate carvings depicting deities, mythological scenes, and everyday life, transforming them into spaces of both utility and reverence. Women, who often bore the responsibility of collecting water, found the Stepwells to be places of social interaction and community bonding. Travelers and traders used them as rest stops, while ascetics and pilgrims sought them out for meditation and reflection. In this way, the Stepwells served as vital threads in the fabric of Indian society. Today, these ancient structures remind us of the delicate balance between human needs and environmental challenges. They are a testament to the creativity and resourcefulness of our ancestors, who turned necessity into opportunity, crafting solutions that were as beautiful as they were functional. Their legacy invites us to consider how we, too, can innovate in the face of modern water scarcity and climate challenges. As we marvel at the ingenuity of India's Stepwells, let's turn our attention to another ancient innovation in water management, one that emerged from the rugged terrains of the Andes and transformed the way an entire civilization thrived in harmony with its environment. High in the annals of ancient innovation stands a device so remarkable that it predated modern earthquake detection by over 1,000 years, the ancient Chinese seismograph. Invented during the Han Dynasty around 132 CE by the brilliant polymath Zhang Heng, this ingenious machine was not just a testament to human curiosity, it was a practical tool designed to save lives. But how did this ancient contraption work, and what made it so groundbreaking for its time? At first glance, the seismograph looked like an ornate bronze vessel, adorned with intricate carvings of dragons and toads. Yet its beauty was matched by its functionality. Inside the vessel hung a pendulum, delicately balanced to respond to the slightest tremors. When an earthquake occurred, the pendulum would swing, triggering a mechanism that caused one of 8 dragon heads positioned around the vessel to release a bronze ball. The ball would then fall into the mouth of a corresponding toad below, indicating not only the occurrence of an earthquake but also its direction of origin. The precision of this design is astonishing. Zhang Heng's seismograph was reportedly able to detect quakes hundreds of kilometers away, even when the tremors were too faint to be felt by people nearby. This made it an invaluable early warning system, allowing authorities to assess potential damage and mobilize aid swiftly. The device's ability to pinpoint the direction of an earthquake was particularly revolutionary, as it provided critical information for disaster response long before modern seismology existed. But what makes the ancient Chinese seismograph even more fascinating is the scientific insight behind its creation. Zhang Heng's understanding of vibrational physics and mechanical engineering was centuries ahead of its time. He recognized that earthquakes produced waves that could be detected and measured a concept that wouldn't be formally explored in the West until the 19th century. His work laid the groundwork for future advancements in seismology, proving that ancient civilizations were capable of profound scientific thought. Beyond its technical brilliance, the seismograph held deep cultural significance. In a society where natural disasters were often seen as signs from the heavens, Zhang Heng's invention offered a more rational explanation for earthquakes. It reflected a shift toward empirical observation and a desire to harness knowledge for the greater good. The seismograph wasn't just a tool, it was a symbol of humanity's ability to confront the unknown with ingenuity and courage. Today, Zhang Heng's seismograph serves as a reminder of how ancient innovations continue to inspire modern science. While the original device has been lost to time, its legacy endures in the seismic sensors and early warning systems that protect millions of lives around the world. It challenges us to think about how the past informs the present and how the pursuit of knowledge can transcend the boundaries of time. As we marvel at the ingenuity of the ancient Chinese seismograph, let's turn our attention to another groundbreaking invention, one that emerged from the sands of the Middle East and transformed the way humans measured time itself. From the tremors of the earth to the ticking of the clock, our journey through ancient innovation continues. Rising like needles piercing the sky, the ancient Egyptian obelisks are among the most iconic and enigmatic monuments of the ancient world. These towering stone structures, often reaching heights of over 70 feet and weighing hundreds of tons, were more than just architectural feats. They were sacred symbols dedicated to the sun god Ra. For the Egyptians, the obelisk represented a ray of sunlight, a physical connection between the earth and the heavens. But how did a civilization without modern machinery create, transport, and erect such colossal stones? The process of carving an obelisk began in the quarries of Aswan, where artisans selected massive blocks of red granite. Using simple tools like dolerite hammers and copper chisels, they painstakingly shaped the stone into a smooth four-sided pillar, tapering slightly toward the top. The precision required was extraordinary. Even a slight miscalculation could crack the stone, rendering months of work useless. Once carved, the obelisk was inscribed with hieroglyphs, often glorifying the pharaoh and his divine connection to Ra. But carving the obelisk was only the first challenge. Transporting these behemoths to their final destinations was a logistical nightmare. Workers would drag the obelisks on wooden sledges across the desert, a task that required hundreds of laborers and careful coordination. To reduce friction, they likely poured water or oil onto the sand, creating a slick surface that allowed the sledges to glide more easily. Once at the Nile, the obelisks were loaded onto massive barges and floated downstream to their installation sites. Erecting an obelisk was perhaps the most perilous part of the process. Using ramps, ropes, and sheer manpower, workers would slowly tilt the stone into an upright position, a feat that demanded both precision and courage. One misstep could send the obelisk crashing to the ground, destroying it and endangering lives. Yet, the Egyptians performed this task repeatedly, leaving behind obelisks that still stand today as testaments to their skill and determination. Beyond their physical grandeur, obelisks held deep symbolic meaning. They were not just monuments to the sun god Ra, but also expressions of the pharaoh's power and divine authority. Placed at the entrances of temples or in public squares, they served as constant reminders of the ruler's connection to the gods and his role in maintaining cosmic order. Some obelisks were even capped with gold or electrum, designed to catch the sun's rays and shine like beacons of divine light. The legacy of the Egyptian obelisks extends far beyond their time. Many were taken by later empires, including the Romans, who transported them to cities like Rome and Constantinople as symbols of their own power. Today, obelisks can be found in places as far-flung as Paris, London, and New York, standing as enduring reminders of ancient Egypt's influence and ingenuity. As we marvel at these stone giants, it's worth considering how other ancient cultures approached monumental architecture. From the sunlit sands of Egypt, let's journey to the misty highlands of another civilization, where massive stone structures were erected not to honor the sun but to align with the stars. In the arid landscapes of ancient Persia, where the sun scorched the earth and water was a precious commodity, engineers devised a revolutionary solution to sustain life, the Kanat system. This ingenious network of underground tunnels stretching for kilometers beneath the desert brought life-giving water to the surface, transforming barren lands into thriving oases. But how did this ancient technology work, and what made it so effective in such harsh environments? The Kanat system was a marvel of both engineering and collaboration. It began with a mother well dug deep into the ground until it reached the water table, often in the foothills of mountains. From there, a gently sloping tunnel was carved, allowing water to flow by gravity toward the surface. Along the way, vertical shafts were dug at regular intervals, serving both as access points for maintenance and as vents to keep the air circulating. By the time the water emerged at its destination, it was cool, clean, and ready to nourish crops, fill reservoirs, and sustain entire communities. What set the Kanat system apart was its sustainability. Unlike surface irrigation, which could lose large amounts of water to evaporation, the underground tunnels minimized waste, ensuring that every drop reached its intended destination. This made the system particularly well-suited to Persia's dry climate, where water was scarce and every resource had to be used efficiently. The Kanats also required no external energy source. Gravity did all the work, making it a truly self-sustaining solution. The impact of the Kanat system on agriculture was profound. By providing a reliable water source, it enabled farmers to cultivate crops like wheat, barley, and fruits in regions that would otherwise have been uninhabitable. This not only supported local populations but also fueled trade and economic growth, as surplus produce could be exchanged with neighboring regions. The system was so effective that it spread far beyond Persia, influencing water management practices in places as distant as North Africa, Spain, and even China. Even today, the legacy of the Kanat system endures. Many of these ancient tunnels are still in use, a testament to their durability and ingenuity. Modern engineers and environmentalists are also looking to the Kanats for inspiration as they seek sustainable solutions to water scarcity in an era of climate change. The principles behind the Kanat system, efficiency, collaboration, and harmony with nature, remain as relevant now as they were thousands of years ago. As we marvel at the brilliance of the Kanat system, it's worth turning our attention to another ancient innovation that transformed the way societies managed their resources, one that emerged from the fertile valleys of another civilization and reshaped the relationship between humans and their environment. From the dry deserts of Persia to the lush landscapes of South America, our journey through ancient ingenuity continues. Nestled into the hillsides of ancient Greece, the open-air theaters of this remarkable civilization were not just venues for entertainment, they were masterpieces of acoustic engineering. Imagine sitting high in the back row, hundreds of feet from the stage, yet hearing every word spoken by the actors below as clearly as if they were standing right beside you. This wasn't magic, it was the result of meticulous design and a deep understanding of sound. The ancient Greeks didn't just build theaters, they created spaces where every whisper, every note, and every dramatic pause could be heard with stunning clarity. The secret to their acoustic perfection lies in the theater's unique architecture. Built into natural slopes, these semi-circular structures took advantage of the landscape to amplify sound. The steeply tiered seating ensured that sound waves traveled upward, reaching even the highest rows without distortion. The stage area or orchestra was often circular or semicircular, allowing voices and music to project evenly in all directions. The materials used limestone and marble reflected sound waves rather than absorbing them, creating a natural amplification system. Even the placement of the theaters, often facing the sea or open countryside, minimized background noise, ensuring an immersive experience for the audience. But the genius of Greek theater design went beyond acoustics. These spaces were also deeply intertwined with the cultural and spiritual life of the community. Performances weren't just entertainment, they were sacred rituals honoring the gods and exploring profound themes of human existence. The plays of Aeschylus, Sophocles, and Euripides tackled timeless questions about fate, morality, and the human condition, drawing audiences into collective reflection. The theater was a place where art, philosophy, and religion converged, shaping the identity of Greek society. The influence of ancient Greek theaters extends far beyond their time. Modern amphitheaters and concert halls owe much to their design principles, from the use of tiered seating to the careful consideration of sound reflection. Even today, architects and engineers study these ancient structures to uncover the secrets of their acoustic brilliance. The Greek theatre stands as a testament to the enduring power of thoughtful design, a reminder that even in an age without microphones or speakers, human ingenuity could create spaces where every voice mattered. As we marvel at the acoustic wonders of ancient Greece, it's worth turning our attention to another culture that elevated the arts to new heights, one that flourished in the Andes and left behind a legacy of creativity and craftsmanship that continues to inspire. From the hills of Greece to the mountains of South America, the story of human innovation unfolds in unexpected and awe-inspiring ways. Stretching over 24,000 miles across some of the most rugged terrain on Earth, the Inca road system stands as one of the greatest engineering feats of the ancient world. This vast network of stone-paved roads, trails, and bridges connected the far reaches of the Inca Empire, from the cloud-shrouded peaks of the Andes to the arid coastal deserts. But what makes this system truly remarkable isn't just its scale, it's the ingenuity and precision with which it was built, overcoming challenges that would daunt even modern engineers. The Incas built their roads not on flat, forgiving ground, but across steep mountain passes, dense jungles, and roaring rivers. To navigate these obstacles, they employed a combination of stonework, terracing, and suspension bridges. In the highlands, roads were often carved directly into mountainsides, with stone retaining walls to prevent erosion. In flatter regions, the paths were paved with tightly fitted stones, creating surfaces that have endured for centuries. And where rivers or gorges interrupted the route, the Incas built suspension bridges using woven grass ropes, some so strong they could support the weight of entire caravans. But why did the Incas invest so much effort into this colossal network? The answer lies in the empire's need for unity and control. At its height, the Inca Empire spanned over 2 million square kilometers, encompassing diverse cultures and landscapes. The road system served as the empire's lifeline, enabling rapid communication, efficient trade, and swift military movement. Runners known as chasquis relayed messages across the network, covering up to 150 miles a day. Goods like maize, potatoes, and textiles flowed along the roads, connecting distant provinces to the imperial capital of Cusco. And when conflict arose, the roads allowed troops to mobilize quickly, ensuring the empire's stability. The construction of the road system also reveals the Incas' deep respect for their environment. Rather than forcing the landscape to conform to their plans, they adapted their designs to the natural world. Roads followed the contours of the land, and sacred sites were carefully integrated into the network. This harmonious approach not only minimized environmental disruption, but also reflected the Incas' spiritual connection to the earth. Today, the remnants of the Inca road system continue to inspire awe and admiration. They remind us of a civilization that mastered the art of connectivity, uniting vast territories through ingenuity and determination. But they also raise a tantalizing question: could another ancient culture have achieved something equally extraordinary? From the stone-paved roads of the Andes, let's journey to the deserts of the Middle East, where another civilization transformed the way people moved across their world. Rising from the fertile plains of Mesopotamia, the Ziggurates stand as awe-inspiring monuments to humanity's earliest attempts to reach the heavens. These massive step temples, constructed by the Sumerians, Babylonians, and Assyrians, were more than just architectural feats. They were sacred spaces where the earthly and divine realms intertwined. Imagine towering structures, some reaching heights equivalent to a modern 10-story building, their terraced levels ascending toward the sky like a staircase for the gods. But what drove these ancient civilizations to build such colossal temples? And how did they achieve such grandeur without the tools and technology we rely on today? The construction of a ziggurat was a monumental undertaking, requiring not only immense physical labor, but also a deep understanding of engineering and logistics. At their core, ziggurates were made of mud bricks, a readily available material in the region. The bricks were often reinforced with bitumen, a natural tar-like substance, to strengthen the structure and protect it from erosion. Each level of the ziggurat was smaller than the one below, creating a stepped pyramid effect. At the very top stood a shrine, believed to be the dwelling place of the temple's patron deity. This elevated sanctuary symbolized the connection between the gods and the people who worshipped them. Building a ziggurat wasn't just a technical challenge, it was a spiritual endeavor. The process was often overseen by priests who directed the labor of thousands of workers. These laborers weren't slaves, but rather members of the community, contributing their time and effort as an act of devotion. The construction of a ziggurat was seen as a communal offering to the gods, a way to ensure their favor and protection. This sense of shared purpose and faith is what made these structures so much more than mere buildings. They were expressions of a society's deepest beliefs and aspirations. The ziggurats also served as central hubs of Mesopotamian life. Beyond their religious function, they were administrative centers where priests managed the distribution of resources and oversaw the city's economic activities. The temples often housed schools, archives, and workshops, making them vital to the cultural and intellectual life of the community. In many ways, the ziggurat was the heart of the city, a place where the spiritual and practical needs of the people converged. Yet, the ziggurats weren't just about function, they were also about symbolism. Their towering presence on the flat Mesopotamian landscape was a constant reminder of the gods' power and humanity's place in the cosmos. The act of climbing the ziggurat steps, whether physically or metaphorically, represented a journey toward the divine, a way to transcend the mundane and touch the sacred. This blend of physical grandeur and spiritual meaning is what makes the ziggurat so enduringly fascinating. The challenges of building these structures were immense. Without cranes or modern machinery, workers had to rely on ramps, levers, and sheer manpower to move and place the heavy bricks. The sheer scale of the ziggurats required precise planning and coordination, as even a small error could jeopardize the entire project. And yet, despite these challenges, the ziggurats stood as testaments to human ingenuity and determination, symbols of a civilization that dared to reach for the heavens. As we marvel at the ziggurats of Mesopotamia, it's worth considering how other ancient cultures approached the construction of their own sacred spaces. From the stepped temples of Mesopotamia to the towering pyramids of another civilization, our next stop takes us to a culture that also sought to bridge the gap between earth and sky, leaving behind structures that continue to inspire wonder and reverence. Imagine setting sail across uncharted waters with no landmarks in sight and only the stars above to guide you. Now, picture a small, unassuming device that could point you in the right direction, no matter where you were. This was the power of the ancient Chinese compass, a groundbreaking invention that not only transformed navigation, but also shaped the course of human history. The earliest compasses, known as Sinan, emerged during the Han Dynasty around 200 BCE. Unlike the sleek, needle-based compasses we use today, these ancient versions were made from lodestone, a naturally magnetized mineral that aligns itself with Earth's magnetic field. The lodestone was carefully shaped into a spoon-like form and placed on a polished bronze plate. When left to settle, the spoon would spin and point south, providing a reliable guide for travelers and explorers. But why was this invention so revolutionary? Before the compass, sailors relied on the sun, stars, and coastal landmarks to navigate. These methods were effective but limited, especially during cloudy weather or on open seas. The compass offered a consistent, dependable way to determine direction. making long-distance voyages not only possible but also safer. It allowed explorers to venture further than ever before, opening up new trade routes and connecting distant cultures. The impact of the compass on trade and exploration cannot be overstated. During the Song dynasty, it became a vital tool for Chinese merchants navigating the vast maritime Silk Road. By the time it reached Europe in the 12th century, the compass had already transformed navigation in the East, and it quickly became indispensable for European explorers like Christopher Columbus and Vasco da Gama. These voyages, powered by the compass, reshaped the world map, ushering in an age of global exploration and cultural exchange. Beyond its practical uses, the compass held deep cultural significance in China. It was seen as a symbol of harmony and balance, reflecting the Taoist principles of yin and yang. The idea of aligning oneself with the natural order resonated deeply in Chinese philosophy, making the compass not just a tool but also a metaphor for living in tune with the universe. Today, the legacy of the ancient Chinese compass endures in every GPS device, smartphone, and navigation system we use. It reminds us that even the simplest innovations can have profound and far-reaching effects. But as we marvel at this ancient tool, let's turn our attention to another invention that reshaped the way humans interact with their world, one that emerged from the deserts of the Middle East and forever changed the way we measure time. From the magnetic pull of the compass to the ticking of the clock, the story of ancient innovation continues to unfold. Flowing through the heart of ancient Rome, the aqueducts were more than just feats of engineering. They were lifelines that sustained an empire. These monumental structures, spanning hundreds of miles, brought fresh water from distant sources into bustling cities, transforming urban life in ways that still resonate today. But how did the Romans manage to build such an intricate and reliable water network? And what lessons can we draw from their ingenuity? The aqueducts were a marvel of precision and planning. Using gravity as their driving force, the Romans designed a system of channels, tunnels, and bridges to transport water across vast distances. The channels, often lined with waterproof cement, were carefully sloped to ensure a steady flow, while bridges and arches carried water over valleys and uneven terrain. Some aqueducts, like the Aqua Appia, built in 312 BC, were entirely underground, protecting the water from contamination and evaporation. Others, like the iconic Pont du Gard in southern France, soared high above the landscape, their towering arches a testament to Roman engineering prowess. What made the aqueducts truly revolutionary was their impact on urban development. Before their construction, cities relied on local wells, rivers, or rainwater, which were often insufficient or polluted. The aqueducts changed everything, supplying clean water to public baths, fountains, and private homes. They enabled Rome to grow into a metropolis of over 1 million people, supporting industries, sanitation, and even entertainment. The public baths, for instance, became social hubs where citizens gathered to relax, conduct business, and discuss politics, all made possible by the steady flow of water. The construction of the aqueducts also showcased the Romans' mastery of materials and techniques. They used a combination of stone, concrete, and brick, often reinforced with volcanic ash to create a durable, long-lasting structure. The precision of their measurements, achieved with tools like the chorobates, a leveling instrument, ensured that water flowed seamlessly from source to city. This attention to detail allowed aqueducts to remain functional for centuries, some even being used long after the fall of the Roman Empire. Today, the legacy of the Roman aqueducts lives on in modern water systems. Their principles of gravity-fed transport and meticulous planning continue to inspire engineers designing pipelines, irrigation networks, and even urban water management systems. The aqueducts remind us that infrastructure isn't just about functionality, it's about improving quality of life and fostering community. As we marvel at the ingenuity of the Roman aqueducts, it's worth considering how another ancient civilization approached the challenge of resource distribution. From the flowing waters of Rome to the intricate networks of another culture, our next stop takes us to a society that mastered the art of connectivity in ways that still captivate us today. High above the golden sands of Egypt, the pyramids rise like eternal monuments to the power and ambition of the pharaohs. These colossal structures, built over 4,500 years ago, were far more than just architectural marvels. They were sacred tombs designed to ensure the safe passage of Egypt's rulers into the afterlife. But how did a civilization without modern machinery achieve such feats of engineering? And what deeper meanings lie hidden within their towering walls? The construction of the pyramids was a monumental endeavor, requiring not only immense physical labor, but also a sophisticated understanding of mathematics, astronomy, and logistics. The most famous of these structures, the Great Pyramid of Giza, stands as a testament to the ingenuity of its builders. Over 2,300,000 stone blocks, some weighing as much as 80 tons, were quarried, transported, and precisely fitted together to create this awe-inspiring edifice. The precision is staggering. The pyramid's base is leveled to within less than 2 centimeters, and its sides are aligned almost perfectly with the cardinal directions north, south, east, and west. How did the ancient Egyptians achieve such accuracy? One theory suggests they used a combination of tools like the merkit, a sighting instrument, and water-filled trenches to establish level foundations. Others propose that they relied on the stars, particularly the circumpolar constellations, to align the pyramid's orientation. Whatever the method, the result is a structure that has endured for millennia, a testament to the skill and dedication of its creators. But the pyramids were more than just engineering triumphs. They were deeply symbolic. Each pyramid was part of a larger complex, including temples, causeways, and smaller tombs, all designed to serve the pharaoh in the afterlife. The pyramid's shape, with its pointed apex, was believed to represent the rays of the sun, a physical connection between the earthly realm and the heavens. Inside, intricate passageways and chambers were filled with treasures, food, and offerings, intended to sustain the pharaoh's spirit on its journey to eternity. The cultural significance of the pyramids cannot be overstated. They were expressions of the pharaoh's divine authority, symbols of their role as intermediaries between the gods and the people. Building a pyramid was not just a construction project, it was an act of devotion, a way to honor both the ruler and the gods they served. The labor required to build these tombs was immense, involving tens of thousands of workers over decades. Yet, evidence suggests that these workers were not slaves but skilled laborers, well-fed and organized into teams, each contributing to a project that united the entire kingdom. Despite centuries of study, many mysteries surrounding the pyramids remain. How were the massive stones transported from distant quarries? What techniques were used to lift them into place? Some researchers propose the use of ramps, while others suggest counterweight systems or even the application of water to reduce friction. The truth is, we may never know for sure. What's clear, however, is that the pyramids stand as enduring symbols of human ambition and ingenuity, challenging us to reconsider the limits of what ancient civilizations could achieve. As we marvel at the pyramids of Egypt, it's worth turning our attention to another ancient culture that also mastered the art of monumental architecture. From the sunlit deserts of Egypt to the lush jungles of Mesoamerica, the story of human innovation continues to unfold in unexpected and awe-inspiring ways. Among the waves of the ancient Mediterranean, a sleek and formidable vessel dominated the seas, the Greek trireme. This warship, powered by the synchronized strength of 170 rowers, became the backbone of Athenian naval power and a symbol of ancient engineering brilliance. But what made the trireme so effective, and how did this innovative design change the course of naval warfare forever? The trireme's design was a marvel of efficiency and precision. Measuring around 120 feet in length, it was built for speed and agility, with a narrow hull and a bronze-clad ram at the prow. This ram, shaped like a spearhead, was the ship's primary weapon, designed to pierce enemy vessels and disable them in a single, devastating strike. But the trireme's true strength lay in its propulsion system. 3 tiers of rowers, each manning a single oar, working in perfect unison to propel the ship at speeds of up to 9 knots. This combination of speed and maneuverability made the trireme a fearsome opponent in battle, capable of outmaneuvering larger, slower ships. The construction of the trireme required advanced knowledge of shipbuilding and materials. The hull was made from lightweight yet durable wood, often pine or fir, carefully shaped to minimize drag and maximize stability. The keel or backbone of the ship was reinforced to withstand the stresses of high-speed maneuvers and combat. Even the placement of the rowers was meticulously planned, with each tier slightly offset to maximize efficiency and power. This level of precision was only possible thanks to the Greeks' deep understanding of physics, geometry, and the properties of materials. Operating a trireme was no easy feat. The rowers, known as thalamites, zygites, and thranites depending on their tier, had to work in perfect harmony, following the rhythm set by a kelusts or rowing master. This synchronization was crucial not only for speed but also for executing complex maneuvers like the Diquis, a tactic where the trireme would break through enemy lines and attack from the rear. The physical demands on the rowers were immense, requiring not only strength but also endurance and discipline. Yet, when executed correctly, the trireme became an unstoppable force on the water. The trireme's impact on naval warfare was profound. It played a pivotal role in the Greco-Persian Wars, most notably at the Battle of Salamis in 480 BCE, where the Athenian fleet used their triremes to outmaneuver and defeat a much larger Persian navy. This victory not only secured Greece's independence but also demonstrated the strategic importance of naval power. The trireme became a symbol of Athenian democracy and ingenuity, a tool that allowed a small city-state to project its influence across the Mediterranean. Beyond its military significance, the trireme also offers a glimpse into the social and cultural fabric of ancient Greece. The rowers were not slaves but free citizens, often from the lower classes, who took pride in their role as defenders of their city. The trireme thus became a unifying force, a place where Athenians from all walks of life came together for a common purpose. It was a floating testament to the power of collaboration and shared ambition. As we marvel at the trireme's legacy, it's worth considering how other ancient cultures approached the challenge of maritime innovation. From the swift warships of Greece to the towering vessels of another civilization, the story of humanity's relationship with the sea continues to unfold in remarkable ways. Our next stop takes us to a culture that mastered the art of sailing across vast oceans, leaving behind a legacy of exploration and discovery that still inspires us today. In the heart of Delhi, India, a towering iron pillar has stood for over 1,600 years, defying time, weather, and even rust. Rising more than 23 feet into the air and weighing nearly 6 tons, the Iron Pillar of Delhi is a testament to the metallurgical genius of ancient India. Unlike most iron structures which corrode and crumble within decades, this pillar remains remarkably intact, its surface smooth and unblemished. How did ancient metalworkers achieve such a feat? And what secrets lie within its composition? The answer lies in the pillar's unique chemical makeup. Unlike modern iron, which is typically alloyed with carbon, the iron pillar contains a high percentage of phosphorus. This unusual composition creates a thin, protective layer of iron hydrogen phosphate on its surface, shielding it from corrosion. Modern scientists have marveled at this innovation, a technique that seems almost prophetic given the advanced understanding of materials it required. The ancient Indian metallurgists didn't just forge iron, they mastered it, crafting a material that could withstand the test of time. But the iron pillar isn't just a marvel of science, it's also a window into the culture and spirituality of its time. Inscriptions on the pillar, written in Sanskrit, reveal that it was originally erected as a tribute to the Hindu god Vishnu by King Chandragupta II, a ruler of the Gupta Empire. The pillar's enduring resistance to rust has led some to view it as a symbol of divine protection, while others see it as a testament to the empire's technological prowess. Its creation wasn't just an act of engineering, it was an expression of faith, art, and power. Theories about the pillar's purpose are as varied as its admirers. Some suggest it was part of an astronomical observatory, its shadow marking the passage of time. Others believe it served as a victory monument, commemorating the Gupta Empire's military triumphs. Whatever its original function, the Iron Pillar of Delhi continues to inspire awe and curiosity. Its rust-resistant properties have even influenced modern research, with scientists studying its composition to develop more durable materials for today's infrastructure. What makes the Iron Pillar even more remarkable is the context in which it was created. This wasn't the product of a highly industrialized society, but of a civilization that relied on simple tools and profound ingenuity. The ancient Indian metalworkers didn't just craft a pillar, they left behind a legacy that challenges our assumptions about the past and inspires us to push the boundaries of what's possible. As we marvel at the Iron Pillar's resilience, it's worth turning our attention to another ancient culture that mastered the art of metalworking in equally astonishing ways. From the sunlit plains of India, let's journey to the rugged highlands of the Andes, where a civilization forged objects of such precision and beauty that they continue to captivate us today. The story of ancient innovation is far from over. Nestled within the dense jungles of Central America, the ancient Mayan ball courts stand as monumental reminders of a civilization that turned sport into something far more profound. These massive stone arenas, often flanked by towering walls and adorned with intricate carvings, were not just venues for competition. They were sacred spaces where life, death, and destiny hung in the balance. The game played here, known as pits or the Mesoamerican bowl game, was no ordinary sport. It was a ritual, a cosmic drama, and a reflection of the Mayan worldview, all rolled into one. The design of these ball courts was nothing short of extraordinary. Typically shaped like a capital I, the courts featured long, narrow playing alleys flanked by sloping walls or vertical surfaces. At either end, stone rings were mounted high on the walls, serving as goals. Players, often dressed in elaborate protective gear, would use their hips, elbows, or knees to propel a solid rubber ball through these rings. The courts themselves were often aligned with celestial events such as solstices or equinoxes, emphasizing their connection to the cosmos. The largest known court at Chichén Itzá stretches over 500 feet in length, with walls rising 30 feet high, a testament to the Mayans' architectural ambition. But why did the Mayans invest so much effort into these structures? The answer lies in the game's deep cultural and spiritual significance. For the Mayans, the ball game was more than just a contest of skill. It was a reenactment of their creation myth. According to their beliefs, the hero twins Hunahpu and Xbalanque played a cosmic ball game against the gods of the underworld. Their victory ensured the rise of the sun and the continuation of life itself. By playing the game, the Mayans honored this myth and sought to maintain cosmic balance. The stakes of the game were often life and death. While not every match ended in sacrifice, evidence suggests that some players, perhaps the losing team's captain or even the winners, were offered to the gods. Carvings and murals depict scenes of decapitation or heart removal, hinting at the game's ritualistic intensity. Yet, this was not seen as a tragedy but as an honor, a way to ensure favor from the gods and prosperity for the community. Building these courts was no small feat. The Mayans had to quarry massive stones, transport them through dense jungles, and precisely fit them together without mortar. The alignment of the courts with celestial events required advanced knowledge of astronomy, while the engineering of the sloping walls and stone rings demanded a mastery of geometry and physics. The result was a structure that was not only functional but also deeply symbolic, embodying the Mayans' connection to both the earth and the heavens. The legacy of the Mayan ball game endures in the modern world, not just as a historical curiosity, but as a reminder of how deeply intertwined sport, culture, and spirituality can be. These courts challenge us to see games not just as entertainment, but as profound expressions of human belief and creativity. As we reflect on the Mayans' remarkable sporting tradition, let's turn our attention to another ancient culture that transformed physical competition into something far greater, one that thrived in the Mediterranean and left behind a legacy of athleticism and artistry that still captivates us today. From the sacred ball courts of Mesoamerica to the sunlit stadiums of ancient Greece, the story of humanity's love for sport continues to unfold in extraordinary ways. Stretching across the vast expanse of the Roman Empire, from the windswept hills of Britain to the sun-drenched sands of North Africa, the Roman road system was more than just a network of paths, it was the lifeblood of an empire. Imagine a world where distance and terrain were no longer barriers, where goods, soldiers, and ideas could flow freely across thousands of miles. This was the power of the Roman roads, a marvel of engineering and ambition that connected far-flung provinces and laid the foundation for modern infrastructure as we know it. At the heart of the Roman road system was a simple yet revolutionary principle: durability. These roads were built to last, constructed with meticulous attention to detail. Workers began by digging a deep trench, filling it with layers of crushed stone, gravel, and sand to create a stable foundation. On top of this, they laid large, flat paving stones, carefully fitted together like pieces of a puzzle. The roads were slightly crowned in the center to allow rainwater to drain off, preventing erosion and ensuring they remained passable in all weather conditions. This combination of innovation and practicality made Roman roads not only functional but also enduring. Some are still in use today, over 2,000 years later. The purpose of these roads extended far beyond mere transportation. For the Roman military, they were strategic assets, enabling legions to move swiftly across the empire to quell rebellions or defend borders. A well-maintained road could mean the difference between victory and defeat, as it allowed troops to respond to threats with unprecedented speed. But the roads also served as arteries of commerce, linking bustling cities and remote villages. Merchants, traders, and travelers relied on them to transport goods like olive oil, wine, and grain, fueling the empire's economy and fostering cultural exchange. Roman roads were also symbols of Roman authority and unity. Inscriptions and milestones along the way reminded travelers of the empire's reach and the emperor's power. The phrase, "all roads lead to Rome," wasn't just a metaphor, it was a literal truth, as the road network radiated outward from the capital, connecting every corner of the empire to its heart. This sense of connectivity helped bind diverse cultures and peoples under a single banner, creating a shared identity that transcended local differences. The legacy of the Roman road system is still visible today. Many modern highways in Europe and beyond follow the same routes laid out by Roman engineers. Their techniques, grading, drainage, and layered construction remain foundational principles in civil engineering. Even the concept of a centralized, interconnected transportation network owes much to Roman innovation. As we marvel at the ingenuity of the Roman roads, it's worth considering how another ancient civilization tackled the challenge of connectivity in an entirely different way. From the stone-paved paths of Rome, let's journey to the rugged highlands of the Andes, where the Inca Empire built a network of roads that snaked through some of the most challenging terrain on Earth. The story of ancient transportation is far from over. For thousands of years, a shimmering fabric has captivated the world, becoming a symbol of luxury, power, and artistry. Silk, the prized creation of ancient China, wasn't just a textile, it was a closely guarded secret, a cornerstone of trade, and a cultural treasure that shaped empires. The story of silk production, or sericulture, begins in the mists of Chinese legend, where the Empress Lizu is said to have discovered the process after a silkworm cocoon fell into her tea, unraveling its delicate threads. From this mythical origin, silk became one of humanity's most transformative innovations. At the heart of silk production lies the silkworm, the larval stage of the Bombyx Moai moth. These tiny creatures feed exclusively on mulberry leaves, spinning cocoons made of a single, continuous thread that can stretch up to 900 meters long. The process of harvesting this thread is both delicate and labor-intensive. Workers carefully boil the cocoons to loosen the silk fibers, then meticulously unwind them onto spools. This raw silk is then spun into threads, dyed, and woven into the luxurious fabric that became synonymous with wealth and status. What made silk so revolutionary wasn't just its beauty but its versatility. It was lightweight yet durable, cool in summer and warm in winter, making it ideal for everything from royal robes to trade goods. The Chinese guarded the secrets of sericulture for centuries, imposing harsh penalties on anyone who tried to smuggle silkworm eggs or mulberry seeds out of the empire. This monopoly allowed China to dominate the silk trade, creating a network of routes that would later become the Silk Road, a vast web of commerce connecting east and west. The impact of silk extended far beyond economics. It became a cultural icon woven into the fabric of Chinese art, literature, and religion. Silk garments were reserved for the elite, their intricate patterns and colors reflecting the wearer's rank and status. Emperors gifted bolts of silk to foreign dignitaries, using it as a tool of diplomacy and power. Even in death, silk played a role, wrapping the bodies of the wealthy and adorning tombs as a symbol of eternal prosperity. Today, silk remains a testament to ancient ingenuity. Modern applications range from high-fashion garments to medical sutures, showcasing its enduring relevance. Yet, the legacy of silk isn't just in its material value, it's in the way it connected cultures, inspired innovation, and demonstrated the power of human creativity. From the mulberry groves of ancient China to the runways of Paris, silk continues to weave a story of luxury and artistry. As we marvel at the brilliance of silk production, let's shift our focus to another ancient culture that transformed the world of textiles. From the delicate threads of China to the vibrant dyes of another civilization, the story of human innovation continues to unfold in unexpected and dazzling ways. Imagine a world without paper, no books, no letters, no way to record history or share ideas. For the ancient Egyptians, this was a challenge they solved with ingenuity and resourcefulness, giving birth to one of the earliest forms of writing material, papyrus. This remarkable innovation not only transformed communication in the ancient world, but also laid the groundwork for the paper we use today. Papyrus was crafted from the reeds of the cypress papyrus plant, which thrived along the banks of the Nile. The process of making it was both an art and a science. Workers would harvest the tall, triangular stems, cut them into thin strips, and soak them in water to soften the fibers. These strips were then laid out in overlapping layers, with one set running horizontally and the other vertically. Once arranged, the layers were pressed together, pounded flat, and left to dry under the sun. The result was a durable, lightweight sheet that could be written on with ink, rolled into scrolls, or bound into codices. The uses of papyrus were as varied as they were vital. For the Egyptians, it served as a medium for everything from administrative records and legal documents to religious texts and literary works. The famous Book of the Dead, a collection of spells and prayers intended to guide the deceased through the afterlife, was often inscribed on papyrus scrolls. Artists also used it to create intricate illustrations and paintings, blending words and images in ways that still captivate us today. But papyrus was more than just a practical tool, it was a cultural cornerstone. Its production was a highly specialized craft, overseen by skilled artisans who passed their knowledge down through generations. The use of papyrus became a symbol of Egyptian sophistication, a testament to their mastery of both nature and technology. It also played a key role in diplomacy, as Egyptian rulers exchanged papyrus documents with foreign leaders, spreading their influence and ideas far beyond the Nile. The impact of papyrus extended far beyond Egypt's borders. As trade routes expanded, papyrus became a sought-after commodity, reaching places like Greece and Rome. It revolutionized record-keeping and communication, enabling the spread of knowledge and culture across the ancient world. Even after the rise of parchment and later paper, papyrus remained in use for centuries, a testament to its enduring quality and significance. Today, the legacy of papyrus reminds us of humanity's unending quest to share and preserve knowledge. It challenges us to think about how the tools we use to communicate shape the way we see the world and connect with one another. As we marvel at the ingenuity of the ancient Egyptians, let's turn our attention to another culture that transformed the way we record and share ideas, one that flourished in the fertile valleys of Mesopotamia and gave us one of the earliest known writing systems. From the reeds of the Nile to the clay tablets of another ancient civilization, the story of human innovation continues to unfold in extraordinary ways. In the bustling agora of ancient Athens, where merchants hawked their wares and citizens debated the issues of the day, a quiet revolution was taking place, one that would forever change the way humans think about the world. The ancient Greek philosophers, armed with nothing but curiosity and reason, laid the foundations for modern science, mathematics, and ethics, shaping the intellectual landscape in ways that still resonate today. At the heart of this philosophical revolution were figures like Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle. Socrates, often regarded as the father of Western philosophy, challenged his fellow Athenians to question their assumptions and seek truth through dialogue. His famous method of questioning, known as the Socratic method, encouraged critical thinking and self-reflection, principles that remain central to education and debate. Plato, his most famous student, expanded on these ideas, exploring concepts like justice, beauty, and the nature of reality in his dialogues. His vision of an ideal society, outlined in the Republic, continues to inspire discussions about governance and morality. Aristotle, in turn, took philosophy in a new direction, emphasizing observation and logic. He pioneered the study of biology, physics, and ethics, developing systematic approaches that laid the groundwork for the scientific method. His work on logic, particularly his syllogisms, became the foundation of formal reasoning, while his ethical theories, centered on the concept of virtue, remain influential in moral philosophy. Together, these thinkers created a legacy of inquiry and intellect that has endured for millennia. But the contributions of Greek philosophy extended beyond individual thinkers. The ancient Greeks were the first to separate myth from reason, seeking natural explanations for the world around them. This shift from mythos to logos, from storytelling to rational analysis, marked the birth of science as we know it. Mathematicians like Pythagoras and Euclid explored the abstract beauty of numbers and geometry, while astronomers like Aristarchus proposed a heliocentric model of the solar system centuries before Copernicus. These intellectual achievements were not just academic exercises, they were expressions of a culture that valued knowledge and sought to understand the universe in all its complexity. The cultural significance of Greek philosophy cannot be overstated. It shaped the way ancient Greeks viewed themselves and their place in the world, fostering a spirit of inquiry and debate that became a hallmark of their civilization. This legacy was preserved and expanded by later cultures, from the Roman Empire to the Islamic Golden Age, ensuring that Greek ideas continued to influence thinkers across the globe. Even today, the questions posed by the ancient philosophers about the nature of reality, the meaning of justice, and the pursuit of the good life remain as relevant as ever. As we reflect on the enduring impact of Greek philosophy, it's worth considering how another ancient culture approached the pursuit of knowledge. From the sunlit hills of Athens to the fertile plains of another civilization, the story of human intellectual achievement continues to unfold in remarkable ways. Long before modern medicine defined health as the absence of disease, an ancient Indian system of healing offered a radically different perspective, one that viewed the body, mind, and spirit as deeply interconnected. This system, known as Ayurveda, emerged over 5,000 years ago and remains one of the oldest holistic healing traditions in the world. Rooted in the belief that balance is the key to well-being, Ayurveda doesn't just treat illness, it seeks to prevent it by harmonizing the individual with the rhythms of nature. At the heart of Ayurveda lies the concept of the three doshas, Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. These are not just abstract ideas but fundamental energies that govern every aspect of our physical and mental health. Vata, associated with air and space, controls movement and communication. Pitta, linked to fire and water, governs digestion and metabolism. Kapha, tied to earth and water, provides structure and stability. Each person is born with a unique balance of these doshas, and Ayurveda teaches that maintaining this balance is essential for health. When the doshas fall out of alignment, whether through poor diet, stress, or environmental factors, illness can arise. But Ayurveda is far more than a theoretical framework. It's a practical guide to living well. Its prescriptions range from dietary recommendations and herbal remedies to yoga, meditation, and even daily routines tailored to an individual's dosha. For example, a person with a dominant Vata dosha might be advised to avoid cold, raw foods and instead favor warm, grounding meals. Pitta types prone to overheating might benefit from cooling herbs like mint and aloe, while Kapha individuals who tend to retain water could be encouraged to incorporate spices like ginger and turmeric to stimulate circulation. These personalized approaches reflect Ayurveda's core philosophy that health is not one size fits all but a deeply personal journey. The impact of Ayurveda extends far beyond its ancient origins. Over the centuries, its principles have influenced medical traditions across Asia, from traditional Chinese medicine to Tibetan healing practices. Today, Ayurveda enjoys a global resurgence as people seek alternatives to the often impersonal nature of modern healthcare. Its emphasis on prevention, natural remedies, and individualized care resonates with those looking for a more holistic approach to well-being. Modern research is even beginning to validate some of Ayurveda's claims, with studies exploring the benefits of practices like turmeric for inflammation or yoga for stress reduction. Yet, Ayurveda's enduring legacy isn't just about its techniques, it's about its philosophy. In a world increasingly dominated by quick fixes and fragmented care, Ayurveda reminds us that true health requires balance, self-awareness, and a deep connection to the world around us. It challenges us to see ourselves not as isolated beings but as part of a larger, interconnected whole. As we reflect on the wisdom of Ayurveda, it's worth considering how another ancient culture approached the art of healing. From the lush landscapes of India, let's journey to the sun-baked deserts of another civilization, where medicine was not just a science but a sacred calling, shaping lives and legacies in ways that still captivate us today. Deep within the annals of history lies a discovery that would forever alter the course of warfare, technology, and human progress: gunpowder. Originally known as huo yao, or fire medicine, this ancient Chinese invention emerged over 1,000 years ago as a blend of saltpeter, sulfur, and charcoal. What began as an alchemical experiment to create an elixir of immortality quickly transformed into one of the most revolutionary technologies the world had ever seen. But how did this accidental discovery become a force that reshaped civilizations? At its core, gunpowder is a simple mixture, yet its potential was anything but. The combination of these three ingredients created a chemical reaction capable of producing explosive energy. Early Chinese alchemists working during the Tang dynasty around the 9th century likely stumbled upon this formula while searching for ways to prolong life. Little did they know they had unlocked the power to change the world. By the time of the Song dynasty, gunpowder was being used for more than just experimentation. It had become a tool of warfare, propelling rockets, bombs, and even primitive firearms into the hands of soldiers. The impact of gunpowder on warfare was nothing short of revolutionary. Before its invention, battles were fought with swords, spears, and bows, relying on physical strength and strategy. Gunpowder introduced a new dynamic: the ability to project force over great distances with devastating power. Siege warfare, in particular, was transformed. Castles and fortifications that had once been nearly impenetrable were now vulnerable to explosive projectiles. The psychological effect was equally profound. The roar of cannons and the flash of gunfire struck fear into the hearts of enemies, changing the very nature of combat. But gunpowder's influence extended far beyond the battlefield. It became a catalyst for technological innovation, driving advancements in metallurgy, chemistry, and engineering. The Chinese used gunpowder to create fireworks, turning it into a medium for celebration and artistry. These dazzling displays, first used in religious ceremonies and imperial celebrations, eventually spread across the globe, becoming a universal symbol of festivity. Fireworks were more than just entertainment. They were a testament to humanity's ability to harness the power of chemistry for both destruction and beauty. The cultural significance of gunpowder is equally fascinating. In China, it was initially seen as a symbol of imperial power and ingenuity, a tool that reinforced the emperor's authority and the empire's technological prowess. Over time, however, it spread to other regions through trade, conquest, and exploration, reshaped global power dynamics. The arrival of gunpowder in Europe during the Middle Ages marked the beginning of a new era, one defined by the rise of firearms and the decline of feudalism. Empires rose and fell as nations raced to master this new technology, forever altering the political and social fabric of the world. Yet, gunpowder's legacy is not without its complexities. While it fueled progress and innovation, it also brought destruction and suffering. The same substance that illuminated the night sky with fireworks also powered weapons that devastated cities and claimed countless lives. This duality reminds us of the profound responsibility that comes with scientific discovery: the power to create and the power to destroy. As we reflect on the transformative impact of gunpowder, it's worth considering how another ancient culture harnessed the elements to shape history. From the explosive chemistry of China to the brilliant astronomy of another civilization, the story of human ingenuity continues to unfold in ways that both inspire and challenge us. High above the bustling streets of modern Rome, the Pantheon stands as a silent witness to the ingenuity of an empire long gone. Its massive dome, still the largest unreinforced concrete dome in the world, has weathered nearly 2,000 years of history, earthquakes, invasions, and the relentless march of time. What's the secret behind this astonishing durability? The answer lies in a material so advanced that modern scientists are still unraveling its mysteries: Roman concrete. Roman concrete, or opus cementitium, wasn't just a building material, it was a technological marvel. Unlike the concrete we use today, which often cracks and deteriorates within decades, Roman concrete seemed to defy the laws of decay. The key to its longevity: volcanic ash. The Romans mixed this natural ingredient with lime and small rocks to create a material that not only hardened over time but actually grew stronger. This process, known as the pozzolanic reaction, allowed the concrete to resist erosion and even heal small cracks on its own. Structures like the Pantheon, the Colosseum, and ancient aqueducts owe their endurance to this remarkable formula. But here's the twist: despite its effectiveness, the recipe for Roman concrete was lost for centuries. As the Roman Empire declined, so did the knowledge of how to produce this extraordinary material. Modern concrete, while cheaper and easier to make, lacks the same resilience. Today, scientists are working tirelessly to reverse engineer Roman concrete, hoping to unlock its secrets and apply them to contemporary construction. Imagine the possibilities: bridges, buildings, and infrastructure that could last for millennia, reducing the environmental toll of constant repairs and replacements. The implications of this research extend far beyond durability. Roman concrete is also being studied for its potential in sustainable construction. The volcanic ash used by the Romans is a naturally abundant material, and its incorporation into modern concrete could reduce the need for energy-intensive cement production, which currently accounts for a significant portion of global carbon emissions. By learning from the past, we might just find the key to building a more sustainable future. What makes Roman concrete so fascinating isn't just its technical brilliance, but the lessons it offers about innovation and legacy. The Romans didn't just build for their time, they built for eternity. Their concrete wasn't just a tool, it was a testament to their vision, their ambition, and their understanding of the natural world. As we stand in awe of their achievements, it's worth asking, what can we learn from their example? How can we create technologies that not only serve us today, but also endure for generations to come? As we marvel at the enduring legacy of Roman concrete, it's time to reflect on the bigger picture. From the towering domes of Rome to the intricate mechanisms of ancient Greece, the story of human ingenuity is one of creativity, resilience, and an unending drive to push the boundaries of what's possible. And now, as we approach the end of our journey, let's take a moment to tie together the threads of these remarkable innovations, exploring how they continue to shape our world today. The final chapter of this story is about more than just history, it's about the lessons we can carry forward into the future. As we reach the end of our journey through 36 groundbreaking technologies that transcended the limitations of their time, one thing becomes abundantly clear. The ingenuity of ancient civilizations was nothing short of extraordinary. From the precision of the Antikythera mechanism to the enduring strength of Roman concrete, these innovations remind us that human creativity knows no bounds. Each discovery, whether it's the rust-resistant iron pillar of Delhi, the celestial alignment of the Great Pyramid, or the intricate gears of the Phaistos disk, challenges our assumptions about what ancient societies were capable of. These weren't just feats of engineering, they were expressions of curiosity, ambition, and a deep desire to understand the world. What makes these technologies so remarkable isn't just their complexity, but their lasting impact. Many of them laid the foundation for modern advancements, from the principles of mathematics and astronomy to the art of metallurgy and construction. The ancient Greeks' mastery of acoustics in their theaters, for example, still informs the design of concert halls today. The Mayan ball courts, blending sport and spirituality, remind us of the cultural significance of physical competition. Even the Baghdad Battery, shrouded in mystery, hints at an early understanding of electricity that predates modern science by centuries. These ancient marvels weren't just ahead of their time, they were timeless, offering insights and inspiration that continue to resonate. But beyond their technical brilliance, these technologies tell a story about humanity itself. They reveal a shared drive to innovate, to solve problems, and to leave a mark on the world. The Olmec colossal heads, the Nazca lines, and the Terracotta Army weren't just projects. They were declarations of identity, power, and belief. They remind us that innovation isn't just about tools or techniques, it's about the values and aspirations that drive us to create. So, what can we learn from these ancient marvels as we look to the future? Perhaps it's the importance of curiosity, of asking questions that push the boundaries of what we think is possible. Maybe it's the value of collaboration, of bringing together diverse skills and perspectives to tackle monumental challenges. Or maybe it's the reminder that innovation isn't just about progress, it's about connection, whether to the cosmos, to our communities, or to future generations. As we close this exploration, I want to hear from you. Which of these ancient technologies fascinated you the most? What lessons do you think we can take from the past to shape the future? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Let's keep the conversation going. And if you enjoyed this journey through history, don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into the mysteries of our world. Together, we can uncover the stories that connect us across time and space. The past holds the keys to the future. Let's keep unlocking them.